Hi, thanks for joining me on a journey with Jenny. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the miracle morning and how it's helping me along my author's journey. The Miracle Morning is a book, a practice by Hal Elrod. And I first heard about the Miracle Morning. This was actually back in 2017. I was at a Gabby Bernstein event um, at Kripalu in February of 2017. And there was a woman that was also awake at like, I want to say 6 a.m. in the morning. And I just woke up and I can't remember what I was doing at that time, but I think I was gonna journal or just reflect or meditate, something. And since she was also up so early, she asked me, what are you doing? Are you doing the Miracle Morning? I'm like, what is that? So she's the one who introduced me to Hal Elrod and to this book. She had all these like great notes about it and told me a little bit about it. And so I have in my notes here that in March 25th of 2017 was when I first read this book, and I took notes of it. And I read this book in one sitting. I think I finished it in 6 hours. I just remember reading it and just literally like completely being mesmerized by everything he was saying and just like wanting it, soaking it all in. So if you're excited to learn about the Miracle Morning, yeah, I'm just going to be explaining about what it is and how it can help in this author's journey. So the Miracle Morning is, it says, the not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. by Hal Elrod. And Hal also wrote a book called Taking Life Head On. If you're not familiar with Hal Elrod, I totally recommend you checking out his website, which is Miracle. So this is Hal Elrod, miraclemorning.com, and he is just so amazing. He almost died. He almost died in a car accident, and just his attitude about life and how he approaches difficulties and just the way that he carries himself, how optimistic he always is, and then how this book came about was because he had basically was losing everything back in 2008 and got deeply depressed. And it was through an advice that his friend gave him was like, yo man, are you running? And he was like, aren't you hearing what I'm saying? I'm going through all these things. I'm not running. And he was like, well, you know what, I think you should go for a run. And Hal went for a run, and then he realized that made him feel better, and he realized that all the most successful people in life, they have these habits. They have these habits such as meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise. And so what Hal did was he put six of the practices slash habits that the most successful people in the world attribute their success to, and he put it into a daily morning practice called the Life Savers. So the Savers stands for, so it's six acronyms. Savers. S is silence. A is affirmations. V is visualization. E is exercise. R is reading, and S is scribing, which is just a fancy way of saying journaling. But J didn't fit into that acronym. So Savers. When I first read this book and I started to practice the Miracle Morning, I started to notice that my life was completely shifting. And I used to always be a night owl. I actually used to hate waking up early in the morning. Like, you would not find me awake before 6 a.m. But when I read this book, all of a sudden, I started waking up at like 4 a.m. in the morning without an alarm clock. And I felt so energized and I felt so excited and I felt so eager to be doing my daily Miracle Morning practices. Yeah, now it's been more than 3 years. So ever since that time, every single day, I've actually done the Miracle Morning. Maybe there's like 5 days a year that actually maybe I haven't done it. But on the most part, ever since April of 2017, which is when I first started my 30-day challenge. So that's another great thing that he does. Not only does he have this Miracle Morning challenge or Miracle Morning book, but he also creates a 30-day challenge to really help you integrate not just reading this and feeling inspired, but activating it in your life and having a community of people. So he has a very um, robust Facebook group that you can join. It's in here. I'm pretty sure it's just like the Miracle Morning Facebook, facebook.com/the Miracle Morning. And I want to say there's like hundreds of thousands of people in there. And Hal is in there too sometimes. In fact, he's currently launching the Miracle Morning movie. So I'm going to go ahead and link that here so you can learn more about him. Not just read this book, which I highly recommend. So I'll also link the Amazon link so that you can buy his book, which I highly recommend. But also, he's created a movie now that includes so many stories of people who've implemented the Miracle Morning and how miraculous indeed their life has been. So I actually got to meet Hal. So February 8th, 2018. I still remember I had signed up for this event, but I had just flown back in for Barcelona and I just wasn't sure. I was still in Boston and my friend was like, hey, Hal's here. It's going to be such a great event. Like, are you going to be there? And I just was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to do this. And I drove 6 hours to get to New Jersey so I could meet Hal in person. And it was so worth it. It was so, so, so worth it. I think I've seen Hal twice now and met him in person once. I, paid for a VIP ticket so that I could actually meet him at lunch and actually get to hear him share more about his story. And actually, I was going to say in this book here, I have it signed by him, to Jenny, with love, your pal, Hal. And honestly, like, Hal is genuinely, when you meet him, he's so sincere, he's so loving, you can feel it. Like, oh my gosh, I almost feel like Terry, I just remember meeting him, but wow, but you can just really feel how genuine he is. Whoa, I'm getting emotional. Okay, that was not the point of this. Let me breathe and get back on track. Oh my gosh. I think what I'm feeling right now is just how grateful I am for Hal and the fact that I, was able to read this book and that he literally is like a friend. Even though I don't personally know him, but through, everything that he shared on his Facebook post, as well as everything that he's shared in his podcast and in his in the way that he has just, continued to share his journey with cancer, with all his mentors, with his own journey. I just so admire the person he is, and he is really a mentor to me. And I am so grateful that the Miracle Morning has been something that has transformed my life. So, in the Miracle Morning, Hal includes a lot of quotes, but one of my favorite quotes is this one by Albert Einstein. And he says, there are only two ways to live your life. One, as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. And ever since I read Gabby Bernstein's May Cause Miracles and then Hal Elrod's The Miracle Morning, my life has just been full of miracles. And I see miracles all the time, everywhere, every single day. I create them every single morning through my Miracle Morning practice. And I think for me, it's why I am so happy right now. It's just when you can be grateful for every little thing and you see things as miracles, all of a sudden there's just so many things in your life that you can appreciate. And so what I want to share is what the Miracle Morning practice looks like in actual reality, and a little bit of the background of it. So in this book, Hal really, helps us wake up to our full potential. And he kind of shares, these arguments that we are deserving and capable of creating and sustaining an extraordinary life with like health and wealth and happiness and love and success as much as any other people in the world. And so for us, it's about stop settling for less. And for us to know, again, the serenity prayer, for me, it's about knowing what we can control, knowing what we can't control, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, it is possible for us to create levels of personal, professional, and financial success that we desire. Um, but it's about our dedication to ourselves and making sure that we actually take the time every single day to become the person that we want to be. And so, what he shares in this book is how you wake up each and every day, and your morning routine or your lack thereof can dramatically affect your levels of success in every single area of your life. So, through this, having a very focused, productive, like successful mornings is what's going to go ahead and allow you to transform your life faster than you think would be possible. So, some of the things that he says that is benefits that you can expect to gain would be waking up every day with more energy and feeling empowered, with a structure and strategy to be able to start maximizing your potential. It lowers your stress. It allows you to gain clarity to quickly overcome any challenge, adversity, or limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, increases your productivity, and so much more. Hal shares about how this came about, and one of the things that he realized when he was creating the Miracle Morning is our outer world will always be a reflection of our inner world. So our level of success is always going to be parallel to our level of personal development. So if we're not developing ourselves personally, then we would expect that our levels of success would plateau at a certain point. So the higher levels of success we want, the more personal development we need to more or less up level who we are to have the life that we dream of. And what I would say about this too is, he has in here a 95% reality check. And there's a quote from Abraham Maslow that says, the story of the human race is the story of men and women seeking themselves short. What he shares is that, it's a lot easier to settle for mediocrity. It's a lot easier to stay comfortable. It's a lot easier to want less because then, life is easier. And what I learned through Landmark, that, it's a parallel that I see here, is that with with breakdowns come breakthroughs. So typically, you can't reach that next level without something that you have to overcome to get there. And so this is not easy. I mean, it's not easy. It's not simple. It's confronting. It's challenging. Very, very discomforting. So, why would we do it then, right? And it's because there's something inside of us. There's a small, small, small little voice that says, "Ooh, keep keep following your dreams." I mean, that's at least for me, right? Like that's why I have my that's why I have my dream catcher. It's like keep following your dreams. Keep believing in yourself. Keep going for your dreams. So Hal asks you a question in here. He says, "Why did you wake up this morning?" And so, whatever your thoughts are when you go to sleep and then when you wake up in the morning, that's really what's going to drive your life forward. So, he gives you tips about how to have like a 5 step snooze proof wake up strategy, like setting your intentions the night before, put your alarm clock across the room so you have to move towards it. When you wake up in the morning, just go brush your teeth right away so it kind of like refreshes you. Drink a full glass of water. So, I typically drink one of these every morning, and then get in your workout clothes so that that's also part of the atomic habits. Once you start setting yourself up for success to do the things that you want to do, and it starts as quickly as getting dressed in something, even if you don't go for that run, it's good movement in the right direction. So, what the miracle morning is, again, what I'll share is what it looks like for me, because every single person is going to be different. So, the savers, again, is silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So you don't have to do it in that order. People can mix it up. Some people like to exercise first, and then they'll do reading, and then they'll do meditations and journaling. Um, so I forget what house that was his routine. I have it written somewhere, but I don't have it right now. But for me, what I love is the flexibility of it. On average, I would say my miracle mornings are somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. On the long end, especially if I'm journaling a lot or like I'm really into a book that I'm reading, or my exercise. So when I was training for like marathons, my exercise could be like a full hour. So at like the long end, my miracle mornings have been like 2 to 3 hours. But I love them. They're so great. Typically, when I wake up, I'll do my meditation first. So silence could be prayer, could be meditation, could just be breathing. The silence part can really be up for a lot of different interpretations. For me, I prefer to do guided meditations as my silence. One of my favorite ones has been Deepak Chopra's 21 Days to Abundance meditation challenge that he had. Typically for a month, or at least like let's say the first 21 days, I'll listen to a day each of one of his abundance meditations. I also use other meditation and apps sometimes. I use like Aura or Calm, or on YouTube, there's a lot of meditations that you can look up. Sometimes, kind of like Abraham Hicks, Asterix that they suggest, I may just turn off all the noise and tune into a sound. So if there's an AC, just tune into that and just focus on that one sound and breathe. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the silence. I have friends who pray, and I really love that too. They tell me sometimes that they hold me in their prayers, and I think that's really lovely. So maybe you can just pray for people to be safe and well in this world. Maybe you're even naming specific people in your prayers as well. Um, so lots of different options for silence. Typically for me, the silence part can range between 3 minutes at the shortest when I do like the Aura app. Typically, those meditations are really short, but I'll listen to 2 to 3 meditations. So typically, it's 10 minutes. The abundance meditations are somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. And yeah, so on average, my meditations will be about 10 to 30 minutes at the long end. And then typically I would do affirmations. For me, affirmations look a little differently. Here's one of my journals where I also do my journaling, but I'll read this out loud. So my affirmation might literally be me saying, be bold, take a risk, live life freely, lead by example, trust your gut, say what you feel, mean what you say, express gratitude, believe in your power, exceed your expectations, dance the night away, skip down the street, don't take no for an answer, be your best self, don't look back. And I want to thank my SELP coach, Safi, for gifting me this beautiful journal because it's been with me and really guided me. So that reading that sometimes are affirmations for me. Hal has a whole bunch of affirmations that he has here. His affirmations are more using like the SMART, like having specific, measurable, action oriented, result oriented, timely affirmations that he says for you to achieve. I don't use those as much. Maybe I should. But in any case, he guides you through affirmations as well. But I have a meditation. So in a way, it's like double dipping. I have a self care meditation that has like a whole part of like affirmations in it that I really love because it's a kind of more of a spiritual one. It's called Self Care Meditation by Chris Carr, and it's free on her website. I'll link that as well. And I just love it because for me, her meditation really grounds me every single morning. I usually listen to it and then repeat it when I'm brushing my teeth. And then, then I'm also in front of my mirror. I'm washing my face and then just doing my morning routine and saying those affirmations to myself. Um, and it's very much along the lines of like, I am loving, I am kind. Um, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful, affirming meditation. So then, for my visualization, typically I say that one last. So I'll go in the order of what I normally do. So after those two, I usually do a reading. I actually do an oracle card reading. So with my oracle card readings, I am typically going to be um, uh, asking some questions about what do I need to know for my greatest good, from the past, present, and the future. And then so whatever cards I draw, ooh, the fates. Whatever cards I draw, it's part of my reading. So I read what the cards mean, and I also interpret it myself. And then I am well, actually, I type it in my Evernote. So then I'm journaling about for each day, what does that reading mean to me? Now, recently, in the last few months, I've also started a new practice. So every single morning, this is my notebook. I'm also doing the morning pages. So in these morning pages, I'm kind of just I wake up. Oh, actually, this is new. So I wake up, and then the first thing I do is just I freestyle brainstorm 3 pages of whatever comes out to me. So I'm starting my day by journaling these days, and then so I have two versions of reading and scribing. So I do my oracle card reading and journal about what the oracle card reading means to me, and then I'm also journaling in my Miracle Morning pages. And currently, I'm reading The Artist's Way, and this book is A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity, by Julia Cameron. I'm always reading a book, and sometimes I have like 2 to 3 books I'm reading at a time, and then I also listen to audiobooks. So I love absorbing books, content. I love it. And since I would not say that I come from a creative background, this is really helpful for me to continue to get into flow of writing. Then I do exercise next. So with exercise, when I was in Boston, I would do BBG, which is Bikini Body Guide. It's a 30-minute workout. And then, or I would go running. Running was like, it's therapy for me. So I usually like go running. And when I go running, it's then when I would do my visualization. So I would usually match those together. So for my visualization, you can use visualization in so many different ways. My favorite way to do visualization is Vishen Lakhiani of Mind Valley. He has a 6 phase meditation, a guided meditation that I really love. And steps 4 and 5 in it is basically visualizing your life 3 years from now, and what that looks like. And typically, people overestimate how much they can do in a year, they underestimate how much they can do in 3 years. So he really guides you through envisioning what your life could look like in 3 years. And then in step 5, envisioning what would you do today in your life to get to that place. And so using that visualization, guided visualization, is typically what I do, to really feel very powerfully day to day what it is that I want to be doing. That's what my miracle morning looks like. Even if I can only do 1 minute per activity and 6 minutes at the minimum, you could do it. So, maybe it's a 1 minute breathing and then just say my affirmation, then just visualize what does today look like. Do 100 crunches or push ups, and then read a couple pages in a book, and then just, journal for a minute. Even if that's all you can do and you do 6 to 10 minutes, that's still going to like radically shift your life. So I highly recommend you do it. And Hal has a whole series of these books. He has them for um, teachers, for parents, for kids, for authors, for salespeople. So while I actually haven't bought the Miracle Morning for writers yet, I'm pretty sure there is one of those. And what I love is that like he also tailors his books to work for different people and allow you to think about how do you use this to set up yourself to be successful in your life, in your daily life, in what you want to improve in, whether it's health or your career or whatever it is that you want to be accomplishing more in. And so, thank you all for tuning in to watch and learn about the Miracle Morning. What I've loved about how it's really served me is that ever since that March, April 2017, every single day I have journaled. I have written at least a note about my day, and so I'm grateful because I do have this whole collection of just looking back at the past and just see how far I've come. And it's really great to see the progress that I've made in these years and how this practice has really helped me to get there. So now, as I'm continuing on to my author journey in these videos, in this series, I'm excited because this morning I did my Miracle Morning just as I do every single day, and now I'm very clearly seeing what does it look like for me to be an author and for me to be allowing these books to flow through me and just to be living into my best self. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my video, and may you have a blessed day. Until next time, bye.
Hi everyone, it's Jenny from A Journey with Jenny, and I'm here with Hal Elrod, and I've actually mentioned this a lot of times on my channel, but he's the reason why I wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. The Miracle Morning. For those of you who know me, I've always been a night owl. I've never been a morning person, but ever since I read this book, I started waking up without an alarm clock, and yeah, Hal, thank you so much for inspiring me to practice these lifesavers. What other encouragement or advice do you have for people?
Yeah, first, you're welcome, and thanks for watching. If you're not a morning person, the essence of the Miracle Morning is the idea that all of us want to achieve everything we want in our lives. We want, on a scale of 1 to 10, we want level 10 success in every area. But if we're not becoming a level 10 person every day, there's a disconnect. If this is what we want to achieve, but this is who we are, there's a disconnect. The Miracle Morning is about waking up every day and starting your day by dedicating time to develop yourself through personal development, through something called the Savers, into a level 10 person, and then level 10 success in every area of your life will meet you head on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jenny. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys. Anything else?